What's going on, everybody? I want to throw out a quick little walk around overview of this fine piece of machine right here. This is my dad's 1992 Chevy Silverado. Everybody refers to it as the OBS or old body style. It is a long bed, but back when my dad bought this truck, he needed a pickup. We used it for towing. He hauled things with it, everything like that, so a short bed wouldn't really do what he needed to do with it. Now it's kind of turned into a hot rod because he doesn't really use it as a truck anymore. But the cool, I guess, little story on it is when he originally bought a Chevy Silverado, it was not this one. A lot of my friends are watching this video right now and they're saying, I can't believe your dad still has that truck. This is not the same truck. My dad in 1991 ordered a brand new Chevy Silverado, special ordered it. I think he waited like 3 or 4 months to get it. He ordered it from Joe Furman Chevrolet back up in Lorain, Ohio, where I'm from. Pretty sure he waited like 3 months for it. He ordered it with 305, 308 rear end gear, 700 R4, but he wanted all the options in it. And they brought it, delivered it to the house. He did all the paperwork at the house, everything. That was back when you could actually order a truck or car any way you wanted it. You didn't have to get a package to get certain things in it. So my dad bought the truck, lowered it, did exhaust, did headers, did all kind of crazy stuff to it. And he wound up putting a 408 cubic inch small block Chevy in it. Fast forward to about 2001, 2002, I think. He was at our local mall picking up a pair of glasses, and the truck got stolen. And he was without it for about a year. And his best friend, Terry Bay. Terry, if you see this, I love you, I miss you. His best friend found this truck. It was the same color. It was all the same options. The only difference was this truck came with a 350 originally. It was absolutely not in this good a shape when Terry brought it to us. My dad put a ton of money into getting it to be nice again. Me, him, and my buddy Chris put a lot of work into getting it looking this good. And believe it or not, this truck spends all its time in northeastern Ohio. Its whole life it's been there. So you can see it's not beat down. My dad takes very good care of his stuff. So shortly after he got it from Terry, he built another 400 engine for it. This one's a 406, makes about 430 horsepower. It still has the factory computer, still has the factory fuel injection. I know people are cringing hearing that. They make way better stuff nowadays, I get it. But the factory GM throttle body injection, it works really well for what my dad wants to use this thing for. He cares about fuel mileage. He wants horsepower, but he more cares about fuel mileage. That's why this thing has 308 gear in the back. I personally think this thing needs a 342, but I'm not gonna, it's my dad's truck. Whatever he wants, he gets. The transmission is a built 700 R4. It's got Kevlar bands. It's got all the best servos, all the best clutches you can get put in this thing to stand behind that engine. The rear end, like I said, it's got a 308 ring gear. It's got a Detroit True Track, I think is what's in the back end. It's got 17x8s all the way around. I think those are billet specialties. Yep. The paint and body on this truck, the cab and this door are the only original sheet metal on this truck. The entire front nose has been replaced. The bed's been replaced. That's how bad shape this thing was in when we first got it. But the interior is not in too bad a shape. It's actually really clean for what it is. I will throw this on out there. If anybody out there has a lead or a link or something where I can find factory, 100% like this, factory cloth covers, please let me know, because I would love to get them for my dad so he can get his seats redone. They're kind of whooped a little bit. But most of that's because my dad has a English Mastiff, and she's 220 pounds, and she don't fit too well in this. That's one of the reasons I got to sneak this truck on out of Ohio. I went up during Thanksgiving to work on a car for a buddy of mine, and while I was up there, I wound up selling the car I drove, and I went back to my dad's and I said, hey man, I'm taking your truck home. He's, what are you talking about? And I said, well, I sold my car, I need your truck, so I'll see you later. Which is okay, because he's got plenty of other stuff to drive. This thing nowadays, this truck just sits. I mean, it doesn't get driven hardly at all. So he ain't gonna miss it much. But like I say, it went over the whole truck, put it all together. I just thought it'd be something cool to throw out there. I know, like I say, people are really into these mid 90s, you know, what is it, 88 to 90, 98, I believe. So everybody seems to like them. So I figured I'd throw it out there and let everybody check it out. Share kind of a little bit of a cool backstory on it. In a way, I kind of like to say my dad's had this truck since it was new, because the other truck looked just like this one. It was the same paint scheme, same color, same everything. It's got 2-inch drop spindles in the front, and we did 4-inch hangers in the rear. He didn't want to go slam it on the ground. Like I say, we use this truck all the time. We used to race open wheel modifieds. We had a 24-foot enclosed trailer, and this truck towed it everywhere we went. So under the hood, it is not 100% clean. Remember, this truck gets driven. It's spent its whole life up in northeastern Ohio. But I mean, it's better taken care of than a lot of cars you see on the road. But I mean, it's nothing fancy to look at. Unless somebody told you it's a 400 cubic inch engine, you think it was just a 350 with a bunch of bolt-on parts. But that's it, man. This truck's been around for a long time, so it was hooked to my dad's shop for a long time. People knew if this truck was sitting outside, my dad was there. And, I'm gonna tell you something. After driving it down and after seeing it sitting outside of my house and all shined up, my dad might have to report this one stolen, because I don't think I'm taking it back to him anytime soon. I think it's gonna stay down here for just a little while. So, Pop, I hope you don't miss your truck too much, because you ain't getting it back anytime soon, buddy. But that's it. Y'all take it easy, man. One more quick thing. I said I don't want to take this thing back to my dad, and I really don't. You know, this truck, not this one, but I mean, his other one looked just like it. So in my eyes, this truck's been around for 30 years, you know. And I think it's pretty cool to have it sitting here in my shop next to Melvin, because I mean, that truck's been in my family for 30 years too. So, well, no, 40. So let's see. No, 30 years. 1989 he bought that thing. So to have both of these trucks sitting here next to each other really means a lot to me. So real quick, what's going on with Melvin? He's gonna be sitting for a little while. I put that huge motor in, and I was trying to be very, very gentle and not burn up a transmission and not break the rear end. But there's this problem with this truck and that engine. And the problem is, when you put your right foot down, it sounds really, really good. And I just could not get that sound to stop persisting. So I broke the rear end, and the transmission isn't very happy either. So I'm going to kind of put Melvin on the back burner for right now, because the rear end is going to cost me about $1,000 to get the rear end done. Transmission is going to be $2,500, $3,000. And I'm not really one to just throw something in and say this is good enough for right now. And I don't want to do the rear end without doing the trans. And if I do the trans, there's no point, because the rear end's busted in it. So Melvin's going to be sitting for a little while. The engine for the Mustang should be done sometime in the next few months, so we'll get busy sticking that back together, hopefully. But I got some ideas for some other projects coming through the shop just for the channel, so we'll see what happens. See y'all.